Hello everyone, Ito here and welcome back to another week of this Minecraft series. And of course, this week we are going to start in here, inside the vault, where we are going to do our role-playing system. And yeah, actually, we started to make progress into the progress, so let's go with it. And this week we worked behind here in the side of the plane, where, or in this case, in the thruster one, where we worked over the things are in my bag. So let me explain that, because actually the first thing that we did, never mind, we started modifying the difficulty interference. I don't know if you remember, but it was like a long array with comparators and repeater like in a diagonal because of redstone signals and wherever. And then I realized, you know what, if I just offset the pistons with the signals from the back, you can see like white, this is the same, it's just direct transfer, but then on the piston here it's light gray on light gray there, where it's kind of at the white, so it's offset by 1. That means the signal is only going to travel on kind of a one line at a time. That way we can select this and then we invert it, because it's how we got this at the original design. And to be honest, I don't remember why I got this inverted. I believe it's because on the difficulty system here I need to activate the middle lamp. That means I need to activate the white there, the white there, the white there, and only kind of enable the one that it's actually working. So since that is, for example, difficulty 3, that is going to be on the white one, but since that is difficulty 2, that means this one is going to work. So this week was a slow progress one, because we needed to kind of design the whole idea of the progress system, and actually the progress system is going to be always multiplied by 2, because we got 2 different lamp systems. So we started with mainly the most basic one, which is how we are going to remember how much lamps do we have at any point. So we made a memory cell for the progress on the challenge, and also we made another memory cell for the progress on the quest. And this is kind of the same system that we got on the other side, but I just got like the complete full system with the resetter part. This is totally optional, but I need it because it seems like from time to time the blocks over here are getting kind of in this dropper for some reason, and if that happens a couple of times, essentially if you got more than one item there at a time, you are going to start draining the signal and everything is going to break, so you are going to lose your memory cell. But yeah, for example, I got this one on 3 because we were testing, and this is the quest mode, or I believe, yeah, it should be the quest mode. So essentially we got the memory cells over there, and then I got a small system which is going to read over here, depending on where we are going to land in terms of the rolls, if it's possible that you send a new signal that is going to be looping around, which we call the prediction system. So essentially the prediction system, it's a really simple one. It's just telling you like if there is an option that if you spend coins, you are going to upgrade your progress or not. And only happens in a specific threshold. So we configure that, and everything you can see is just kind of behind myself, so it's not that big of a deal. And the idea is you are going to have that blinking part for kind of teasing you like, hey, use your coins, use your coins. That's the whole idea of the whole system. So when we did that, we kind of pretty much set up everything. Then we just grab the signal on this side, and this is just a simple array that is going to read the progress on the display. So it's only going to display one kind of a bar at a time. That way it's easy to grab your attention and say, hey, we are playing here. We are into the quest mode, or we are into challenge mode, or you know what? There is no lamps activated, so we are just on the free mode. And that's kind of super simple to understand. And that means I need to do one time display, and I need to do kind of a 1 bar of lamps light at the point that where we are going. So that's really cool. And that, of course, this is really simple. It's just a 10 strength, or kind of a 10 length line of redstone. Oops, I broke it. I fix it. Yeah, the only difference is this side, because over here, of course, I got the lever there, so I needed to just move it around. But the good thing is the sea lanterns are transparent blocks, so redstone doesn't transfer there, so these don't interfere with each other. Yeah, that's really simple. The cool part of this, actually, it's also we made a small system here for reading at any point how much progress do we have. That's going to be helpful for the result part. And then I did this math again. So essentially what we are doing over here is we are reading first the signal, which is this side. In this case, it's 3. Remember, we got in the memory, in the progress quest memory cell over there, we're exporting a 3. And then we added a 1. And this one is super tricky and important because it's part of the prediction system. So essentially what we are doing is we are adding a 1 and then we are subtracting a 1. So essentially it's the same, but then the prediction system is just removing that last one. So it's going to be a flashing extra 1. And that's kind of at the whole point of it. So then we are going to send the signal on this next layer where we are just essentially doing the same, but we are going into repeating mode. So this is the 4 that we are reading, 3 plus 1, 4. And then we got an extra 1, which is the -1. So we go down again in 3. And this is the one that is going to be flashing over and over. And that's our output. So we add a +1 and then we subtract a +1 and then we can control this extra value over here. So that's the whole system pretty much. And then we mimic the same thing on this other side. So essentially the same idea, but a little bit more cramped because of the memory cell here. But nothing is attached or kind of getting side power and everything. So it's super still safe, even if it doesn't look like that. And designing all of this took us like in between the Monday and the Wednesday, because the design that we did in the Monday didn't work. The design on the Wednesday went better. And then we spent the Friday trying to go for the next part. And on the Friday, we did kind of the roadmap for the next part, which is going to be how we are going to measure out the lamps. We need to add this base progress based on the role and the difficulty, which is something similar to this guy over here, where essentially we need to roll, or we need to read which role we are going to have, where we are going to land, and on which difficulty we are. So it's going to be a similar system like this, and if that is kind of a true, then we need to send a signal here that is going to activate the memory cells, these guys over here. So it's going to send either this signal if we are on the progress quest, or it's going to be, where is the other one? Oh, excuse me. It's going to be over here. Thank you. If we are going to be on the challenge memory cell, so it's going to send this signal. And essentially it's always one, but it's going to be either the redstone lamps or the quartz lamp with a pulse repeater on the frequencies. And the idea for that is now we need to have a bigger array. It's going to be somewhat like this, but I guess it's just too big of a project. So we are going to do the next week this part. So I want to do it well, because I need to remember you. We are on Worlds right now, playing Sixth Ending for League of Legends. So I'm just watching that because I'm still a coach, so yeah, I kind of don't have that much time to advance and polishing apps outside of the stream. So this week progress was a little bit slow, but still happy with everything that we have done so far. And I believe we are going to make some little bit of tweakings and changes on this rough idea. So it's going to be probably look way different on the next week, but hopefully that's going to be fun. And essentially you need to think that it's going to be a more complicated version of just this guy. So with that done, I would call it for this week. It was not too much, but actually we did a little bit more of another stuff, which is just simple, but I think it's going to be important to explain. And the thing that I want to show you is this, because behind myself here you can see like the bottom line is the player stat modifier. So everything that you modified on your role based on your numbers and wherever it's here. And on the top side here, this one, you are going to see like we got the difficulty challenge. So it's kind of essentially how hard it's going to be based on the difficulty that you are, based on the interference modules that we got, and based on the role like it's this one here, But this is important because when you are resolving stuff, that means when we are comparing the progress that we are going to have, we don't want to compare against this line because this is a 1 in the 16. So actually it's just a bigger number and the progress go from 1 to 10. So what we need to do is actually change a little bit of the signals here. You can see that this change and that change, but don't worry, everything is fine. I already fixed everything and tested and everything is working, so that's good. And what we are going to do is first, see if we need to go into resolving mode, which is that one, or the normal mode, which is this one. Right now we're in normal mode because nothing, actually there is not a need for that. And then we got just an inverted thing here, like when we go in resolving mode, we are just going to activate the other line, so we read the other comparator. That's simple, but then we need to roll against this, which is the inverter, because you usually want to roll higher than the value. So in this case, since we roll a 5 matching a 5, that means our higher dice was a 4, and we got a modifier of a +1 because of the stat that I got engaged already. We got a 5. And we roll a 3 here, which is super low, and the difficulty of the whole system I got set up on 2, mainly because I was testing stuff, so it doesn't matter, and that means it's a 5, and since we got a 5 on a 5, and we didn't roll higher, this is going to yield, again, 5 minus 5 is 0, so this lamp is not getting lamp on, that means it's a failure. But when we are rolling lower here, since we need to match that, that's my idea. To me, the progress is a percentage. 0 lamps means 0 progress, so 0% chance of getting success. While 100%, that means 10 lamps, means 100% of progress, and that's 100% of success. So we just essentially just read the same thing and just invert it. So in this case, we roll 5 against the, let's say, this value now is going to mimic the progress, so let's say we got 5 lamps, and we rolled a 50%, so that means it's a success. So it's going to send this signal over this guy, because that piston is going to extend, and that is going to become a success, and then it's going to light the lamp, which is going to be that lamp. So that's kind of the whole system, but this small thing, I believe it's super, super cool, and yeah, that worked really well. And lastly, but clearly not least, I'm here in my redstone mess, because I want to give you a small showdown on how everything is working. So it's not just redstone giverage, it's actually going to be looking cool. So let me stand myself here in this button, which is going to be the payout that you use only once per roll. So you can see like all of the repeaters right now are getting kind of open, are free to lock. So if we go like myself here, I'm locking myself there, and I can show you here. This is our current resolution. So I'm going to press the button. I'm going to lower the dice once. So we are going to move from blue to red, and we are going to increase the coins from 4 to 5. By the way, this is the one that I got engaged previously. And the lamps, we are going to have an extra lamp flashing here. So essentially the whole system is going to be working while I press the button right now. You can see, we hear that. We got the roll modifier down, we got an extra coin, and now the system is kind of telling you in this predicting mode, like, hey, you can get an extra lamp, because we got that one flashing out. I believe what they want to do is modify this, so actually the lamp that is going to be light up is not going to be the fourth one, it's going to be the third one. That means I need to subtract 2 from the value, but I'm still not so sure on how to properly do this, because I think I missed that during the whole week, and again, I don't have that much time this weekend to play. But the idea of tying this up, consolidating that point, which is the thing that I'm missing right now, I believe. I'm not adding an extra one, so that's the thing that is going to be based on when we press the button, probably. I need to check on that. And of course, changing in this difficulty and the other one, because the displays are not working. We should see over that at 2, for example, but right now I got that disabled. We should see like the time is shifting, but only activated one at a time. So the time is going to be, in this case, we are on challenge mode. This time is going to be the challenge time. We need to start tying things up, but that's going to be for the end, because we essentially got the rough idea on how everything is going to be working, but we need to go on the next other part to starting to connect the different modules, and then we need to just make everything look pretty. But you can see, like, we are making big progress here. Everything is tied together. It's coming to work, and I think it's becoming something super, super cool. So if you're excited to stuff like this, I mean, I am, so I can't contain myself. But yeah, feel free to drop by on my Twitch, and we shall see you there on the next week. So bye-bye!